Sly had told me that at red flags, I don't want to tell the story because do you know what he's talking about? So this is hiding behind the secrecy of MSIP. Can you tell the story?
Yeah, there are two things that happened that are memorable at red flag. When we went to red flag on one of the MSIP, and we went a lot. And we decided on one of the red flags, it was a big one, that we wanted to take the full capability of MSIP. So they had to go to Nellis and build some extremely faulted areas, because our tapes, nobody was allowed to look at them. We had crew chiefs that weren't allowed. If we had radar problems, you had to have a certain line badge to even come up and look in the cockpit. So we go to Nellis. And we got everything all set up, and we go out on a MSIP hop, MSIP hop that particular day. Bunch of lawn darts, running around out there, and just, nug heads with, good looking haircuts and shit. And we'd been there 1,000 times. And we go out there, and it was just, with the MSIP, we had so much situational awareness, come on. And we're just wailing away, doing our thing. In red flag, they had kill removal. When you got shot, they had a goon that was watching, and because everybody carried these pods that told where you were and 3-dimensional this and that, and they had missile flyouts and stuff. And so we're wailing away and everything, and all of a sudden, then we're cranking and we're turning outbound, and all these guys are chasing us and shit. And I'm going, I just don't need this high school shit. And so I just keyed the mic and I said, all the F-16s are dead. End of discussion. There's like 14 of them out there. Because I have 4 of my MSIP guys with me. I said, all 16 of these assholes, they're gone. They're dead. I'm not playing no more. So we go. And so when we go to the debrief, because of what the MSIP could do, the debrief doesn't show missile fly out. It just shows us where we are in all the F-16s. Then it shows us doing a big pump out, and then me making the call. This guy goes, really nice haircut and shit. And he says, I need to see your tape. I said, I ain't showing you shit. I don't have to show you shit. I said, but just be happy you're on our side because you're dead. You have no clue. You have no clue what we do. I mean, it's beyond your comprehension. So just leave it alone.
So when Sly tells that story, he says, "But so you say to the guy, well, you've got no idea what we can do," and the guy goes, "Yeah, but we were behind you."
Yeah, but you were dead. Yeah, they had no concept. Joe Bob and some of them knew why we were there. TAC knew why we were there and what we were doing and what the tapes were, being evaluated and being used to tweak and everything, Hughes and everybody. But one of the other stories was we went out there again. We were there a lot. And I'm watching my guys out there on a red flag hop, half-ass. I listened to the brief, bullshit brief. Yeah, I'm in a 58th, what the hell? Yeah. Let's go out here and we'll do some shit. And we'll do, half-ass. They go out half-ass. I mean, it just sucked. Embarrassed me. And so I come back in the ready room there and they're talking and saying, well, we could have done better and everything. I kick the door closed and I go, you guys embarrass me. Take off your gorilla patch. I don't want none of you assholes in the gym or in the club tonight. It was a Friday. I said, I don't want none of you assholes in the club tonight with anything to do with me. I don't want you to talk to me. I don't want you to wear a gorilla patch. You can wear an Eagle driver patch. I don't give a shit what you wear. But right now, I don't want to see you. And when next week, when you earn the right to wear my patch, I'll let you. But just stay away from me from now on. I mean, it really embarrassed the shit out of me. And let me tell you, the next week, it was ugly for them. Yeah. I mean, they were back to where they needed to be. And it was like by a Wednesday, I said, okay, put your patches on. Oh, yeah, I made them yank them off. So this ain't the way we're doing this. We're not going to be half-assed and just, it's Friday, what the hell, we're going to the club. No, we're not doing this.
Was that generally sort of your leadership style then? I don't know how you would describe that. I mean, maybe a sort of management trainer or something would know what the definition is, but, wearing your heart on your sleeve, not caring, I'm guessing, not caring about whether you were popular, expecting everybody to rise to the same standard as you.
I don't give a shit. Yeah. I don't care if you agree with me or not. If you have your opinion, I'll listen to it to a point. But if it's an argument, it ain't my problem. It's your problem. This is the way we're doing it. And I used to tell them 1,000 times, if there's a doubt in your mind, there's no doubt. period. But it's my way. You know, I didn't just start, I didn't, saying this ain't new to me. You know, I just want you guys to be the best you can possibly be. I remember take the ORI, when we had the ORI, the general that did the ORI debriefing said, best squadron I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, I was excited until they told me in April, well, you just got promoted. You're leaving, going to Iceland. Iceland, what the hell's that? But yeah, it was. Now I did have some good guys, and I did have somebody that was in personnel that was a very dear friend of mine, been an aggressor pilot, and like Cheese Grater. He walked in. I was at the club. We were in the club one night there for Red Flag or whatever. And this big dumbass walks up to me and wearing his aggressor patch, and he goes, "Hi, I'm Rob Grater, sir." I said, "I'm proud of you, but what do you need?" He said, "I'd really like to be in your squadron." Really? So tell me about yourself. So he tells me a little bit about it. I went, well, let me check. So I go back Monday and pull up his record. I go, a month later, he's standing at the door. JB Kell. So a lot of these guys, they asked to come because they knew me from school. JB went through the schoolhouse. Delaney went through the schoolhouse. Grader went through the schoolhouse.
Dragon,
so they knew who I was, but they also knew that it was going to be my way. We're not gonna be worrying about chrome cigarette shit in the squadron. I don't care how pretty it is or whatever, but we're not here to look good. Not here to look good. The day I took the command of the squadron, we had a change of command and all that kind of stuff. And I went back over to the squadron about 4 p.m. I had a Marine exchange guy there, and kind of walked in. He goes, "Hey, excited to have you come." I said, "Yeah, clean your shit out. I already talked to the detailer. You're out of here." OPSO comes out. "Congratulations." I went, "No, man, you and I don't like each other. We never have. Pack your shit. You're out of here." Right. I mean, I just went through. And the wing commander, he told the wing commander, he went to the wing commander, this guy did, and said, "You've made the biggest mistake you've ever made in your life. He will kill half those guys with his attitude, the way he is." This wing commander's 1-star goes, "I've known him 20 years. I think he'll be fine." Yeah.
If you enjoyed this clip and want more, you can go to 10percenttrue.com, hit subscribe, you get early ad-free access to all my content. Appreciate your support.